Long before matches, lighters, or, any sort of modern fire-starting tools, our ancestors had to survive in a world of rain, snow, and biting cold, using only the raw materials around them. Neanderthals, in particular, developed an ingenious method to create fire that was so reliable it has endured thousands of years. And honestly, it still works today. This isn't about rubbing sticks together or relying on luck. It's a spark trick that harnesses friction, flint, and the careful use of tinder, a method so practical that it remained a closely guarded survival skill throughout prehistory. For the first minute, imagine you're in a backyard wilderness scenario. It's damp, the wood is wet, and modern fire starters aren't available. Survival may depend on your ability to reproduce the same technique Neanderthals perfected tens of thousands of years ago. Knowing this spark trick isn't just about history, it's about equipping yourself with a timeless skill that can make you self-reliant in the outdoors. So, stick with me, and by the end, you'll understand exactly how it works, why it's so effective, and how to apply it today. The Neanderthal spark trick works by concentrating energy in a tiny point. Neanderthals understood that fire isn't created by heat alone, but by concentrating energy in a small, highly reactive point. They often struck hard stones, like flint, against iron-rich rocks to produce sparks. These sparks were directed onto highly flammable material, such as dry moss, fibrous plant matter, or charred cloth. Unlike modern lighters, which generate heat evenly, the Neanderthal method focused tiny bursts of energy precisely where it mattered, igniting tinder that would then catch onto larger sticks and branches. For modern use, this principle is still vital. Using a high-carbon steel striker and flint, you can replicate the same effect. All right, so position your tinder carefully, aim the spark onto the driest, most fibrous area, and let the initial ember grow before introducing additional fuel. This is a precise, low-waste approach that works even in adverse conditions. The brilliance of the Neanderthal method lies not just in producing sparks, but in using tinder that responds instantly. Neanderthals, they carefully selected dry grasses, inner bark fibres and moss that had been treated by fire or sometimes by scraping. The goal, really, was to have material that would smoulder from just a single spark, rather than needing continuous friction. By nurturing this smouldering ember, they could then transfer it to larger kindling, and, build a sustainable flame. Today, understanding tinder selection is absolutely critical for survival. You can gather dry grasses, cotton fibres, or even, say, shredded cardboard, whether you're in a backyard or out in the wilderness. Right. So, preparing your tinder bundle in advance and making sure it's dry and, nice and fibrous really does drastically increase your chances of success when you're striking a spark. Neanderthals didn't rely on luck. They mastered technique. Striking the flint at a precise angle, controlling the pressure and aiming for the correct part of the tinder bundle were all essential. Modern practitioners can apply the same lesson. Don't rush the process. Take the time to position your tinder correctly, strike carefully, and nurture each ember. Neanderthals developed fire not by accident, but through methodical experimentation and practical observation. This spark trick is a timeless lesson in patience, resourcefulness, and the power of understanding natural materials. By learning and practicing it today, you gain a skill that is both historically fascinating and immediately useful for survival, camping, or backyard preparedness. If you found this guide on the Neanderthal spark trick valuable, make sure to subscribe to Backyard Wisdom, share it with fellow history buffs and survival enthusiasts, and stay tuned for more practical techniques drawn from the ingenuity of our ancestors. The lessons of the past can equip us for challenges we face in the present, even in our own backyard.